Thank you very much. You guys know this is about push hands today, right? So we're going to get a little pushy. Okay, so how many of you guys have done any push hands at all? A little bit? Okay. This is going to be very, 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 did I say very enough times? Yes. Gentle. Okay, this very gentle. We're here to prevent falls and not cause them. Okay, so that's what we're here to do today. Deb and Mike is sitting back here, are going to help me with various things. So if I need to throw somebody around, it'll probably be Mike, you know. So, and so if you want to see that again, you can always do that. So when Mike hits the floor, just say, "Hey, can I see that again?" So, great. So I'm staying out in Provincetown right now. So I flew in last night in Logan Airport, drove down to Provincetown. Completely on the other end of the Cape. Yes. You know, so it was interesting. Where I told Cliff where I was going to be, he says, "Well, you're going to need 2 hours to get here." I said, "But it's only like 50 miles." He's going, "Believe me, you're going to need 2 hours to get here." He was right. It took every bit of 2 hours to get here. So anyway, what I'd like to do is just get everyone to stand up and let's do a few warm-ups. We can just do a couple gentle warm-ups. You might want to kind of stagger a little bit so you don't hit the person next to you, unless you don't like them. Then. Okay, so yeah, just kind of stagger out a little bit. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to shift our weight. Let's try this real quick. Shift your weight from leg to leg and turn your hips. And now just let your arms move free, swing freely. We're just going to loosen up a little bit, let our bodies know we're going to move. So how many of you guys are here for the jokes? You warned them about the jokes? Yeah, my students hang out with me in spite of the jokes, you know, so. So now we're just going to bring our feet a little bit closer together. Now what we're going to do is bend forward from the hips and then just loosen the back and then move one knee then the other and just kind of shake loose. And don't go too low, just try whatever you're comfortable with. Now to come back up, we're going to put our hands on our thighs and push ourselves back up. That's great. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is have everyone put one foot forward, and that's why I'm going to match this. So I'm going to turn, I got my left hand and foot forward, I'm going to turn to the left and then come back. Okay, good. A few of these. Now the other side. You don't need to hop, but it's just seeing. Sometimes as a teacher, what I like to do is do stuff and then see if everybody else does it. Okay, and let's put our knees and feet together. So you want both your knees and feet touching. Make little tiny circles with your knees. Not too big, just little tiny ones. Just kind of loosen them up a bit. And then the other way. Okay, now we're going to take our toe, shift your weight into one leg, pick up the heel of the other leg. And what I'm actually going to do is move from the hip here to make the whole leg move. Okay, so what I'm actually doing by using the hip, I'm actually loosening all the joints in that leg. If you're not quite sure how to do this, you can go home and watch some films of Elvis. And then the other way. And then the other side. Okay, just one or two more. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my weight in my front leg and take my back toe. I'm turning sideways to you guys so you can see what I'm doing. And my back toe is going to point at my front heel, so I'm actually got my back foot turned in a little bit. Put your hands on your front thigh, kind of lean forward, but don't hunch your back. So my back is still straight, but it looks like a ski slope. Should feel a bit of a stretch in your calf. few deep breaths. Think good thoughts, like you'd like to see me rich and famous, that kind of stuff. Okay, now let's rock back and do the other side. Okay, and then we're going to go open our arms wide. And now with my hands well below my shoulders, I touch the backs of my hands together. This is a good one to do if you sit at a computer a lot. I teach some classes for the Cancer Research Center out in New Mexico, and one of the ones that we do is this one, where we go like this. That's really good for computers. Okay, so now we're gonna shift our weight. This time, you guys could go into your left, I'm gonna go into my right, and just rock your back foot back until you feel a bit of a stretch in the hip right here. You wanna keep your knee above your ankle, don't go forward of your ankle. And then just relax your hips. Nice deep breaths. And then the other side. Okay, great. So how many of you guys have done universal post? Universal post, great, great. So we already got to start. Okay, so basically when we talk about this is all based on universal post and expanding from there. And when you think about rooting exercises, universal post is a rooting exercise. What you want to think of is like a tree, right? I'm not an artist, you can tell in just a second here. Okay, so there's a tree. So here in the tree, we have basically two things that are happening here with the tree. One is that we're rooting into the ground, right? But the other thing is that a lot of times what's neglected is this idea of what happens in the leaves. Basically what you have here above the head is Tian Qi. You've probably heard the idea of lifting the head as if from a string from above. So what you're actually doing is opening up governing vessel 20, which is right where the soft spot of the head is. So here you have governing vessel 20, right? And what you're doing is opening that up. Well, Tian Qi, Tian means heaven or sky, right? So when I'm doing this right here is yang, right? Tian Qi is yang. And what I'm doing is I'm allowing that to open up here. And at the same time, down below, I'm rooting, right? And here I have Di Qi, right? And that is Earth Qi, right? And that's Yin. So basically what you have here is this is Yin or nurturing, this is Yang and healing. So when we stand like this, you not only want to sink into the ground, you also want to feel yourself drawing the nurturing energy from the earth at the same time. So if we just kind of stand here for a second, and now we're going to sink into the ground. Not only sink into the ground, feel the nurturing energy entering through the bottom of your feet. And at the same time, feel the healing energy coming in through the top of your head. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. How many of you guys know about that? Okay, yes, good, good. Now when we do this here, we're talking about the microcosmic orbit, right? What that does is that touches the tongue to the roof of the mouth. That connects the conceptional vessel, what they call the renmei, to the governing vessel, what they call the dumei. The conceptional vessel regulates all the qi to all the yin meridians in the body. The governing vessel, which runs up the back, regulates the qi to all the yang meridians. And that's called the dumei and the renmei. The way you can remember that is to do ren, 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 to do ren, ren. Okay, so real quick, it's just like this. The best thing to remember is qigong, qigong. Yada da yada da yada da yada qigong. Okay, so when we do this, just kind of root and just relax. Now, one of the things that I like to do is what I call, it's a very simple exercise called turning post. And what we're going to do is shift our weight, pick up the toe, pick up the heel, and turn with the toe. So you can see as I shift here, I shift, pick up the toe, and turn. Now pull in the foot with the hip, shift, pick up the toe, and turn.
You're picking up the heel.
Picking up the heel. I took an A&P class, but I flunked. Okay, so here, shift, breathing in, picking up the heel, and the other way. So we're breathing in as we shift over, and breathing out as we pick up the heel and turn toward the corner. In. And out. And when you do this, you want to feel a solid connection between the dantian, the ball of the foot, K1, the hollow right behind the ball of the foot, and the center of the earth. And just breathing in as you shift, and breathing out as you turn, and then holding your stance until the end of the breath. So in, and out. In, and out. And again, feel the connection into the earth, not only sinking into K1, into the center of the earth through K1, but also feeling the connection to the sky through governing vessel 20. I have to be careful with this one. One time I was doing this with a class, and I said, whoa, that was about 5 minutes, and then someone turned and said, no, that was 20 minutes. So I got to be careful with that one. I'm sitting like this. Next thing I know is, oh, it's 4 o'clock. So I got to be careful. So everybody's familiar with that, right? So now what we're going to do is take basically the basic posting exercise, right? And we're going to work with this with the idea of the root. Okay, so if I can borrow Deb for a second, you guys are going to need a partner. This is going to be fairly interactive class all the way through. Okay, we established that this is all going to be based on posting. Okay, so Deb is going to come here. Now what we're going to do is Deb stands here facing you this way. So what happens is she's going to post. And now what we're going to do with our partner is as I push her on her shoulder, and she posts, what she's going to do is take the energy from her shoulder, across the body and redirect it into the earth. So you can see as she pushes me here, like this, she can push me into the earth and she pushes as hard as she likes, and I just stay there. Okay, so that's basically the idea. So what we're actually doing is this, it's kind of like redirecting. So here's, that one over there so I remember not to grab it. Here's the person. Like I said, you can tell I'm not really an artist. Pushing on the shoulder, and the energy is going to be directed into the opposite foot. Now, the trick is, let me borrow Deb again, is as she pushes me here, I don't push back. I just simply relax. Right? What I'm actually doing is pretending like I'm that oak tree that we had up there, right? And as she pushes, I just relax. I don't push back. Watch, if I push back, go ahead and do that. And she lets go suddenly, I do that, right? And then the other thing I don't want to do is this. So what I'm doing is like I'm a big rock, I'm just standing here, and as she pushes, like this. Now the trick, let me do this with Deb, is that as I push, I only push as hard as I begin to feel her begin to work to stay there. So you notice I'm not actually pushing like she was pushing me, right? It's very, very light. I'm actually only doing, I don't know, what do you think, a couple pounds pressure there maybe? Just a little bit. And so what we're going to do, Deb and Mike and I are going to walk around and laugh at you guys while you guys are practicing this. Okay, so everybody get a partner, somebody you'd like to push around. And you want to start at one end and I'll start at the other? So go ahead and stand like this. Okay, so I'm just going to push you. Okay, yeah, just stay right where you are. So watch, push on my shoulder one time, just real lightly. You're a little heavier. You notice as you push, nothing happens.
No.
So what you do is the response is to relax more. There you go. That's it. So just like that. Unlock your knees and just stay right where you are. Don't go away. Pretend like you're a big tree. That's it. So if you push on my shoulder there, just like I did you, go ahead and push a little harder. You notice I just kind of stay there. So it's just relaxing into the spot. Okay, let me just go ahead and push on this side here. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, let me push on you.
Very good, because you really tune in
Yeah.
to the other person.
Yeah, very good. That's
There it
very
is
good.
right there.
Yeah, very good route. Yeah. Hi guys.
Hi.
Yeah, don't push back. Just stay right where you are. That's it. Beautiful. Just loosen up a little. Watch. Push on my shoulder here. Just push as hard as you like. You notice as I do this, the harder you push, the more I relax.
Really? So it's more going downward than
Think Freddie King. Going down. Down, down. Okay. There we go. Yeah, don't push back, just relax. That's it. Beautiful. Do I get to pick on you, Cliff?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so go ahead and just stand like this.
All right.
In a little bit narrower stance so you don't have to get ready for anything either. Beautiful. Feel that. That's beautiful. Brings a tear to my eye.
All right.
I'm inspired. Okay, you ready, Susan?
I am. Instead of going.
Oh, that's good. Just unlock your knees a little bit. There you go. Really, the trick is relaxation.
yeah.
You know, that's really the trick. Okay, so do you guys see how that worked? So a lot of this is just simply relaxing into this here. So if I get Mike, where'd Mike go? Here. So you can see as Mike pushes me here, he's just starting gradually increase your. So watch, the harder he pushes, the more I relax. You can actually watch me kind of drop and relax. And the harder he pushes, the more I relax. Just like that. That's really the idea. So, and it's not push back. So if he pushes me again, I want you to do that and then just suddenly take away your push. So if I'm pushing back against him, let me do that. I do that, right? If I'm standing here like this and I just simply relax and he suddenly takes away that energy, I'm there. So I'm not pushing back against him. What I'm actually doing is relaxing the pelvic girdle, right? Call that the gua in Chinese martial arts, right? Pelvic girdle, and we just relax. So it's very much like sitting on a stool. So that's the basic idea behind this. Now, what happens is when we talk about that basic idea is that how many of you guys have been bumped in a mall and had to kind of stumble around a bit by some big oaf? So basically the idea is what we want to do is real quick, let me borrow Deb here. And so Deb is going to root, right? And I'm going to be the big oaf, right? So what happens is as I do this here, I just kind of bounce off. So that's the idea, is you want to be able to take that energy into the ground. Now that is actually, everybody here, I imagine, is there anybody here who doesn't know that Tai Chi improves your balance? Okay, so basically, one of the ways it works is from a Western point of view, is that you are doing two things. You are strengthening your legs, right? And it's very, very specific about how it strengthens the legs. It's not a matter of strengthening the belly of the muscle. It's a matter of strengthening the ends of the muscles, the small connective tissue in the ends of the muscles where we actually stabilize ourselves. So when we stand in a stance or any of those things, what we're actually doing is building the connective tissue and the stabilizing ends of the muscles, the part that holds us stable, so as opposed to the belly of the muscle. So, and that is very much what we're trying to do, is develop that. So any of the stances that we do, when we do the motion in slow motion, that's what's happening. Okay, so now, the next thing we're going to do with this is we're going to do this forward and back. Okay, but we get to put a foot forward. I knew you guys. So what I'd like everyone to do is just take a regular old stance, just a regular stance. Don't have to take a Tai Chi stance. You know, so I'm just standing like normal. Now, again, pull your hips forward and unlock your knees. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to borrow Mike here, and we're going to do it like standing in post, right? And Mike is going to come up here and he's going to push my arms just like that. And as he does that, I'm going to stand the same way. Now, when we're doing this with each other, you notice he's pushing rather hard. But when we do this, I'm actually going to do this the same way I did before. Just enough pressure to where I feel Mike begin to work to stay there. Now, you notice when I'm doing this here, go ahead and do that again. I'm just standing in a normal stance. I mean, I could be standing at Dunkin' Donuts. I know there's a lot of Dunkin' Donuts here. Okay, so I could be standing in line in Dunkin' Donuts. So the idea is that as you do this with your partner, again, it's the same idea. Put one foot forward, and then just relax. And as they push, and it's only a few ounces of pressure there, right? Not a great deal of pressure. You just simply relax. So try that with your partner this time. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to run around and laugh at you guys. I love this job. Yeah, and you only want to push her like too much when I push him here. Mm-hmm. I'm only going to push him enough to where I begin to feel him work, and then stay there.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like that. So watch here. Go ahead and so I'm just going to push enough to where I feel him work. Don't let your elbows go back. Here, let me show you something. Get your elbows behind your hips.
Yeah.
Now get your elbows in front of your hips. See the difference? Mm-hmm. So you always want to keep your elbows in front of your hips. And then unlock and you notice as I do this, if you do this with me, go ahead and push. Notice I'm in a nice tall stance. I'm not in a deep stance because it's all a matter of just physics and body mechanics. That's why the old masters can, stand on one foot and not be pushed over. It's not,
Working on that one.
Yeah.
Now, she's feeling pressure right now. Does she go lower on her knees? Is that
Yeah,
the
well,
trick?
the idea is actually when I do this, watch, put your hands on my hips here. So here, when I watch, push on my arms here.
Like,
Push me.
Oh,
Go ahead and push. Push hard.
okay.
As hard as you want.
All right.
Notice the harder she pushes.
Lower. Yeah.
But you notice what's happening is the hips are opening and relaxing.
Oh, okay.
Where, like in
Yeah.
the girdle, you said?
Yeah, so I'm going to actually do this. Can I get everyone's attention real quick? Now, let me borrow Mike. Mike. So now real quick, what I'd like to do is borrow somebody else. Okay, so Mike is going to push me. Would somebody who doesn't mind come up and put your hands right on my hip joints, right here. Okay, so right on my hip joints. Now Mike is going to push me. And what I'd like you to do is tell everybody else what you are feeling as he pushes me on my hips.
Practically nothing.
But you notice as I do this,
Your hips are lowering.
and you notice they're also relaxing and opening up.
The body is just relaxing.
So the harder he pushes, the more my hips relax.
And the distribution between the two legs.
Actually, what I'm doing is as he pushes, I'm actually relaxing into my front foot. Yeah. Now, what the trick about this is that where you're going to feel the pressure is in your back foot. The reason why is rooting is a yin activity. Pushing is a yang activity. So what you feel is the yang push, but where your weight is in the front leg. But you won't feel like it's there. It'll feel like your weight's in the back leg, but you're actually in the front. There's another little trick I'm going to tell you about here. As he's doing this, you notice where my fingers are? Here? I'm actually I'm holding and I'm pointing at the wall behind him. So you can see sideways. Let's do this from each angle here. You can see as he does this here. Now watch. You can see as he does this, I point at the wall behind him. I relax into my front leg. I point at the wall behind him. The harder he pushes, the more I relax. It's all very counterintuitive. Yeah, you know, because the natural response is if he pushes hard, for me to push back, right? But that doesn't work because when he does that here, I can only go as strong as my strength is. So what I'd like to do real quick, can I borrow you for a second? The guy with the dragon on his shirt. What is your name? Stay here, Mike. Okay, Adam. So Mike, push my arms here, like this. Now, Adam, push on Mike's back. The harder they push, the more I relax. Yeah.
Feels like I'm relaxing and sinking, but my arms want to go back.
Oh yeah, that's actually a conversation we had. Can I borrow you a second? Yeah, I had this conversation with Alex a second ago. Now watch. Alex gets in pung, right? And he stands forward. Now, if his elbows are in front of his hips, he's able to direct the power, the energy, into his back foot. He's able to take it across. If his elbows get behind his hips, here, he's no longer got balance. What happens is the energy goes right here, it separates right there, and it makes him go backward. So what you want to do is keep your elbows in front of your